Marty, we're finally at sea. Look there's a bunch of porpoises out here welcoming us.
They look lovely, and we are outward bound.
Yeah, just a couple hours and we're up here in LA Harbor. Look at the ships back there.
And look at the container ship out there waiting to come in.
Yeah, LA Harbor, Long Beach Harbor, they're two of the largest container ports in the whole world. Look at those big cranes.
It's fun to be up here.
Now we're going by ports of call. That's the two brigantines, the Exie and the Irving Johnson. Fabulous looking boats.
They are, they're beautiful. It's fun to be so close.
Look at that, yeah. You ought to see them under full sail. Pretty awesome. We're going by ports of call. Those guys are playing mariachi music.
That's the entertainment for the afternoon.
How about that? Oh my goodness, there's the battleship Iowa.
That's fascinating.
Look at those big cranes.
I think that's the Evergreen.
I think it is, yeah. There's one of the old fireboats. These things are like 800 to 1,000 feet long. I'll tell you, when you're on a 38-foot boat, you feel like an absolute midget.
It's fun coming into the LA Harbor. There's always so much to see, and we're on our way to Wayne's World.
Yes, first we got to go under the Vincent Thomas Bridge, and then about a mile further inland is Wayne Eddles. He's got a little boatyard right on the edge of LA Harbor.
I'm sure there'll be lots of interesting boats there that people are working on.
Really, Wayne is a very accomplished shipwright. He's rebuilt a lot of our lovely yachts, and there's, like you said, there's going to be a lot of nice looking boats there.
So look at this. What is that one, Ernie?
That's a car carrier. All it does is carry cars from Japan to LA Harbor.
And here we are at Wayne's World. What a beautiful sight.
Right. Wayne has got a tugboat that he works on and lives aboard. And then he's got a couple barges here. And he's got kind of a do-it-yourself boatyard. You can do what you can do yourself. And if you need some really expert advice or an expert shipwright, he's willing to fill in.
And there we are on Anita side-tied with a barge.
Here's a couple guys working on an H-28, a little 28-foot sailboat. That's Wayne's car, and then those are the spars off the Argus.
Oh, where is the Argus?
Well, it's really a funny thing. When we tied up, I asked Wayne, I said, Wayne, where's the Argus? He said, you're on top of it. I said, on top of it? What do you mean? He said, well, Argus sank again.
Oh, that's too bad.
This is La Volpe. It's a beautiful, about a 50-foot schooner being totally rebuilt up at Wayne's. That's Wayne's boat, the one on the right, and then that's a Hershoff Ketch the guy's been working on for 25 years. And there's Gary Hill's tugboat.
Oh, that's too bad. It burned up, huh?
Yeah, it caught fire right here in Newport Harbor.
And there we are. There's Anita.
Oh, and there's Marty on her cell phone.
Probably doing my volunteer work.
Anyway, we had a wonderful night there. Next morning we got up early. We had a long way to go. We're going to go all the way up to Paradise Cove up at Malibu.
So back out we go after looking at some more interesting boats on our way out. Look at that one. I love that color.
Isn't that beautiful? Look at that reflection. There's not a breath of wind. There's the Vincent Thomas Bridge.
And we're going back by the Iowa.
That is really something. It's just great that LA Harbor got the Iowa there. See those big guns?
Yes, uh-huh.
They can throw a projectile, a 2,000-pound projectile, 20 miles. There's the two barkentines. This is the pilot station in LA Harbor.
So those boats take the pilots out to the big container ships?
Yeah, they go out and pick up the pilots, and then they also, when they're coming in, they meet them and bring them in. That's the Angel's Gate. That's the lighthouse up there.
The City of the Angels.
Anyway, we're underway. We'd like to move around in the morning before the wind comes up. We cruise about 8 knots. Soon we'll be up around the Palos Verdes Peninsula.
It's really pretty to go up the coast, and we had a beautiful day.
That's Point Vincenti. See the lighthouse? They're working on it. You got to give it a lot of clearance. There's a reef about a quarter of a mile out.
Oh, that's a good shot, yeah.
Anyway, we crossed Santa Monica Bay probably about 2 hours before Paradise Cove. We got a nice breeze. Here's Marty at the helm, and we're coming on in at about 7 knots.
Good thing we're motor sailing.
Well, we're just about there. Paradise Cove is a great stopping off place on your way to Santa Barbara. You get in behind Point Dume, it calms down, it's a beautiful spot. Anyway, we spent a beautiful evening there. Next morning we looked around. We think that's Barbara Streisand's house up on the cliff. Anyway, we're underway, sun's coming up. No, we're not quite underway, but we're getting there. Now we just went around Point Dume. Marty's got her cup of coffee.
I couldn't make it without my coffee in the morning.
Gotta have that coffee. Anyway, we're motoring again. Like I said, we're going up the coast. It was about 35 miles. We're now at Oxnard Harbor, or what they call Channel Islands Marina.
Now, this is a fun place to be. It's also full of interesting boats, and I know they have a museum there, and we are just coming in.
No, this is one of our favorite stopping off places. We were up there a couple of years ago. We went to the Pacific Corinthian Yacht Club. We called them, and they said, come on in, we have space. We'll give you a guest slip.
And that's really nice to be able to come in and have a place to tie up the boat right by the yacht club. Very handy.
Super nice people. We're right at their main guest dock. There's our little boat.
And there's a bigger boat with some people that were very friendly.
That's a Santa Cruz 65. No, not a Santa Cruz, a McGregor 65.
And then we went to the museum, which we really were interested in seeing.
The museum is great. They've got some fantastic oil paintings, some great ship models.
I like the art exhibit with these wonderful paintings.
Really, they got some of the best ship models in the whole world right there.
So we spent quite a bit of time there. They talked about Port Hueneme and this one particular area of the museum.
Right, look they've got scrimshaw, that's whale's teeth and walrus teeth. There's a Montague Dawson oil painting. That's probably a $40,000 painting.
And that's me with a picture of the Blue Nose.
Anyway, we spent a lovely evening there. Next morning, we were up there actually for 3 days. That's Dick McNish's sailboat.
So we're heading out, basically just going around looking at all the boats before we move up the coast again to Ventura.
Right. Oxnard is a really nice harbor. The recession hit them pretty hard. There's a lot of vacancies in the condos there, and actually there's a lot of empty slips. Some of them sort of need rebuilding, but it's a great harbor and a lot of nice people.
Right. It's a good thing you know how to make good coffee, too, because I always need that in the morning when we're heading out early.
I know it. Look at a Down East 38, just like ours.
Right.
Oxnard also has a great place to launch boats. If you take your boat home, have it on a trailer, you come over there, launch your boat, park your car, and head on out to like Santa Cruz Island or Anacapa.
So we're just cruising around looking at everything, and this is where I get to practice my U-turn skills.
Right. Marty's got the helm hard over. That's kind of like the sort of a fisherman's wharf kind of place there, but it's sort of depressed. The places are boarded up. They're talking of a total renewal, but I think it's still a little bit off in the future.
So these people have their boats right by their condos. That's a good way to live life.
Right. There's a beautiful race boat. We actually saw that same boat down at the start of the Ensenada race.
Right. And I always like the statues. And here we are heading out up the coast again to Ventura.
This is just a short hop. It's only like 8 miles. So a little over an hour, and we're coming into Ventura Harbor.
Ventura Harbor has been a little tricky in the past, but I think they have up some new markers. So red right returning.
That's right. And Ventura is really quite a mixture of boats there. They've got quite a fishing fleet. They've got a nice boat yard.
And a big green catamaran.
And a big green catamaran, right.
And there we are.
Yeah, you can get way over on the north end of the harbor, but you're totally out of all the good places to go. We asked if we could be right near the where the whole little downtown part of the marina is, and there's got a great restaurant there.
Yes, that was really a good fun place to go. What's the name of that one?
That's Brophy Brothers. It's a great
right.
seafood restaurant. They've got another one on right on Fisherman's Wharf in Santa Barbara.
Well, and then the next day, we really enjoyed being there because Josh and Melissa came up.
Yeah, that was fun. Josh came up with his wife Melissa, spent the afternoon with us. We had a nice afternoon dinner, and he sort of misses the sea. He's been married now, starting a business, and he's just not getting any sailing time in.
So we spent the afternoon and we went to the Ventura Yacht Club after we had happy hour on the boat.
These guys were great. They gave us a guest card. They say, "Why are you paying $40 a night for a slip? We'll let you have a dock for free next time." So anyway, we spent the night there. We're now going to be going off to Santa Barbara. We're once again up early in the morning, a little after daybreak. Marty's got her coffee and she's at the helm, and we're leaving Ventura Harbor.
And there we are, sunrise.
Sunrise. Now this was probably about a 35-mile leg of our trip. Pretty good swell left over from yesterday afternoon, but we motor sailed most of the way, past some Oil Islands, and this is now the entrance into Santa Barbara Island. No, Santa Barbara, the town, yeah.
One of our favorite places, and you get to come in beside a big wharf.
That's Stearns Wharf there. That's really neat. There's some wonderful restaurants there. And look at lots of sailboats in Santa Barbara.
Right. So this is fun to come in, and you just stay to the right of the entrance because it gets a little shallow as you make kind of a 90-degree left-hand turn.
Right, Marty made the turn, and now we're going to head up to the head of the dock. They have a dock there right at the harbor master's office. You tie up your boat, you go up to his office, and if you're really nice, you ask for a slip, and they'll give you a slip for like 1 to 5 days. It's a very reasonable rate, about $1 a foot. They've got really nice restroom facilities, and they're just very, very nice in Santa Barbara.
So there we are, in our home for the next 3 or 4 days.
Right, and belonging to a yacht club down in Newport Beach gives us guest privileges at the Santa Barbara Yacht Club. So we checked in there, they gave us a guest card and said, just welcome to our yacht club.
And then we headed for State Street, and there's a lot of really fun antique shops with a lot of vintage clothes, the Reagan Ranch Center, and then we did one of my favorite things. We took the shuttle. Where did we go in the shuttle, Ernie?
Yeah, you'd been hearing about a new baby kangaroo at the Santa Barbara Museum, and you were not giving me any peace until we went out. So Santa Barbara's great. They've got a little shuttle service there for 25 cents. You can go all over town. Here we are at the zoo.
And there's the baby giraffe, kind of in the middle. He's about 3 months old, and they have been breeding giraffes there so that they can send them to other zoos.
Right, I think that wasn't the little tiny baby. That was like the little
3
sister,
months.
I think. Yeah. Anyway, these are shots around right downtown Santa Barbara, down at the Fisherman's Wharf. They got a great big breakwater there. A lot of tourists. It's summer. Anyway, it's Thursday night, and it's a beer can race, but there was no wind.
So the boats just sat out there waiting for some wind. Some of them turned around and gave up, but a lot of them stayed out there. And in time, the wind freshened a little bit, and they were able to come in and finish. But there's a lot of people up at the yacht club having dinner and watching, and other people down on the beach. It was a beautiful day. It's too bad they didn't have any wind.
I know, and it's a great spot. The yacht club is like a quarter of a mile from the starting line. They're actually racing in the ocean.
And they have really good food here. And on race night, they do cook some things on the grill, and it's really pretty inside. We like it there.
These are scenes inside the yacht club. Really nice bunch of people. And here's the race going on. It's a really exciting race, as you can see.
Oh, well, in time, some of them did turn around. So we did a lot of walking, which we really enjoyed. And here I am coming back to the yacht club, coming up from our walkway from the boat.
This is looking down from the balcony of the yacht club. There's a lady watching the sun go down. She's got her little daughter playing on the sand.
And somebody's finishing one of the races, so that's good.
Yeah, that was the race committee. They, like I said, they run the race right off the deck. The sun's going down, and there's the yacht club with the sun behind it. There's a great little boat, very similar to the Lynn and Larry parties. Anyway, we spent 5 days there. Now we've decided to head back down the coast. We're at the fuel dock before the guy that runs it. We topped up our fuel tanks, and now we're going out to Santa Cruz Island, but we got the weather report and small craft warnings, 20 to 30 knots of wind. That didn't sound like any fun, so we're going to head back to Paradise Cove.
Right. When we found out there were 10-foot waves out there, we looked at each other and said, oh, we don't think so. So we did Plan B, which turned out just fine.
That's right. Here we are running with the wind. Marty's at the helm. We're probably doing about 6 knots. We've got a reef in the mainsail. We're kind of really cautious because when you get too much wind, it's hard to reef. Why not be ready for it?
Well, Anita's a great sailing boat, so we really enjoy being out, and it's great to have some wind so we can sail.
No, it was a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. We would tack out, we'd tack in. It's probably, 35 miles back to Paradise Cove. That is Paradise Cove on the port bow there. We really had a lovely afternoon sail.
So back to Paradise Cove, and we're going to be spending the night there, and then the next day we'll be heading for Catalina.
Right, it's so nice at Paradise Cove. There's all those mansions up on the hill in the evening, and also in the morning. All the stand-up paddleboard people are out there paddling around. We had a lovely, lovely evening at Paradise Cove.
So the next day we head back out. We have some more dolphins out there playing around, and we get to our favorite island.
Right, it was a long shot. It was about 40 miles from Paradise Cove to Catalina, but it's Labor Day weekend. All of our friends are at White's Cove, so we've dropped the anchor, and I think it's sort of time to party.
And it's beautiful weather, nice and warm, no wind. Everybody's out with all the toys, and one of the favorite things that we like seeing, that's the Nordic Star. And there's my family. That's my son, my 2 grandsons, Caleb and Landon. They came up from Avalon on their tender, hung out with us for a while.
One thing about the big weekends at White's Cove, there's a lot of people there playing with all their water toys, so it can be a little bit noisy. But it's a beautiful, beautiful spot, very well protected. Okay, we're underway. We've been out almost 2 weeks. Time to head for Newport Beach. We've got a beautiful westerly wind filling in. That's me at the helm. We're arriving at Newport. That's the whale watching boat bringing people out from Newport Harbor.
Well, if you have to come home, it's great to come home to Newport Harbor. It's beautiful.
Now, we had a great time, Marty. Let's do it again next year. What do you think?
Absolutely.
All right. Give me 5.